Tonight with you our topic about finding mental strength through physical activity. Our topic, I chose this topic because many are experiencing chronic stress and feeling the negative effects of stress. Many common causes of those stressors, just in our normal daily lives, comes from our health, the questions and the treatments that we're trying to navigate, getting regular blood work, trying to get more answers, dealing with work and balancing those kinds of things, financial stress, relationships, worry of the unknown and future, as well as overscheduling. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves to accomplish things and to be able to get through each day, having checked a lot of things off our list. And these stresses can weigh heavily on you and can end up causing a negative impact on your health. So today I want to talk about some of the effects of the stress and some physical things that we can do to help us become more mentally resilient as we go through those things. I will talk about some warm-up exercises and stretches that we can do, and some of those things we can do together in our chair. So I challenge you that if you are in a space where you can do that, then I would love for you to join with us. So the effects of chronic stress. High levels of stress can have an impact on the whole body, not just your mind. Much of our stress has to do with unrealistic expectations, overscheduling, and worry. Some of those main effects of chronic stress are a decreased brain function, delayed reaction time, affects your ability to think effectively and clearly. It can affect your ability to remember things, and that's your memory. It can affect the way that you input and output information. Inflammation. Stress increases the body's inflammation response and can affect our immune system, causing further sickness and make it so that our ability to fight things off is a lot lower. Weight gain. Often with high stress, eating patterns change. High levels of cortisol, it's our stress hormone, changes, and it reduces our ability to lose weight. So when our cortisol, our stress hormone levels go high, our body retains water weight and it retains a lot of the things that we eat. So it makes it a lot harder to lose weight. And when we are trying to lose weight or trying to do certain things, and because of that high hormone, we're unable to do those things, it creates this cycle of stress. And so it causes more stress because we're unsuccessful in that event. And so it's finding that balance of reducing your cortisol levels so that you can accomplish those things. Stress can also affect our sleep. Sleep is essential for our bodies, for our healing and function, both our bodies and our minds. With high stress, quality goes down and quantity of sleep can go down. And that also can have a negative effect on your hormone production and response. So how to manage the stress? While stress can be overwhelming and all the things you may have on your plate right now, it's important to take time for things that can help you reduce stress and take time for things that are most important. So the most commonly suggested things for reducing stress are, number one, exercise. By exercising, you're going to increase your endorphins and it decreases your cortisol. So it creates a better balance of your hormones and can help you feel more accomplished by doing the exercises. Relaxing your muscles. A lot of times with our stress, we get tense and tight, and especially women, we tend to feel it in our neck and our shoulders. And having tense, tight muscles can cause more pain, which causes more stress. So by Stretching and relaxing, getting a massage, doing some yoga or chair yoga can help us kind of relax and soothe those muscles and can work to help reduce some of those pains. Then there's deep breathing, making sure that you're getting good, clear breaths or meditation, clearing your mind can also help in an awesome way. One thing that I like to do when I feel extremely stressed or when I have an event coming or a big deadline, something that's that high stress event, I like to lay down, take in some deep breaths and exhale everything out. And so it feels like I'm letting go all of that negative stress. And I start visualizing good things, visualizing the success of the thing that is, most scary or haunting or that high stress thing. Visualizing it being successful or good can, while breathing all of that stress out, can also help. Good nutrition. When we eat well, it boosts our immune system. It helps balance our hormones, and also it helps us feel accomplished and feel good. Slowing down. This is one thing that can be very hard, especially when you write out that to-do list and you're like, I have so many things I need to do today. Take it a piece at a time. Prioritize the things that are the absolute most important, the things that absolutely have to happen that day, and schedule out other things for other days. Find a way to prioritize and schedule out helps you to not feel as overwhelmed when we have a lot going on. And remember, you don't have to do everything. You can ask for help. You can skip certain things. The toilet doesn't have to be scrubbed today. There's some things that don't have to be done today. It's more of, I want it done today. And gauging your energy, engaging your stress can help figure out what is most important. Take a break. Schedule time for yourself to have moments of freedom. Notice how I said schedule that time. It's important to prioritize yourself and your mental health in everything that's going on. So sometimes it's not as easy to just take a moment and walk out of your office or take a moment and relax. Sometimes we have to plan it out, have an alarm on our phone that says go meditate or go to yoga or it's time for your exercise. Take time in your day, make it a priority of something that will allow you some freedom and a time to relax. And if it's taking a nap, that is also an awesome thing because sleep is also very important. Make time for hobbies. So doing things that bring you joy can reduce stress. If you dread and have negative feelings about everything in your day, that is going to continue that high stress cycle, which continues those high cortisol levels. If you find time for things that you enjoy, picking up a new hobby, taking a class, challenging yourself in something that you've always wanted to try, that can bring joy, that can bring a sense of satisfaction and accomplishment. It is always awesome and can help reduce your stress. And last but not least, talk about your problems. So there's many options that you can go with talking about your problems. Number one, meet with a support group. Number two, find a wonderful therapist, someone who maybe specializes in what it is that you need, someone who can empathize and understand, and number one, listen. Or talk to a spouse or family member that can listen. So when talking to family and friends about the stress that you have or saying, I need to unload what I'm feeling right now, be sure that you Let them know that you're just wanting to talk about it. Or if you want them to help, let them know, I want your help. Because I think it's important when talking out your feelings, letting people know what your expectation is of you sharing them. So make sure that if you want their help, you let them know. If you want them to just listen, make sure that they will just listen so that you can feel good about how you express and talk about your stresses, the things that you need to get off your chest. All right, how to manage stress continued. So as you can see, number 1 was exercise. It helps combat depression and anxiety, and it really, really helps you kind of prioritize things. Sometimes getting out and doing some exercise, getting some fresh air, breathing, it helps us understand what is most important of our day and getting rid of some unnecessary stressors. So as always, first and foremost, always, always, always consult with your specialist before you begin or change your exercise program. You want to find out what you should avoid. So if it's a twisting movement, if twisting is going to hurt your back, or if adding load, which is adding weight, is going to be harmful, don't add load. If resistance bands or core and balance are better, there's ways to do those things. So find out the things that are not okay so that you can then have a huge list of things that you can do and that will be okay, because the last thing we want to do is cause more pain when we're looking for relief. All right, so to start, let's go over the benefits of exercise. Number 1, reduce overall fatigue and tiredness. That sounds a little bit backwards from what you would think, but oftentimes doing some activity, getting your blood flowing, getting your heart rate up can help kind of bring this new fresh life to how you're feeling. It can improve your stamina. So it improves your endurance. If you can walk for 5 minutes right now, try going for 6 minutes in a couple of days, then try going for 7 minutes, slowly increasing incrementally the time that you can go can help build that endurance and stamina. By doing stretches and yoga or balance exercises, that can help improve your flexibility and mobility. And overall, it can decrease your risk of fall while improving your balance. So brings a boost of confidence as you get stronger. It improves your mood by releasing those endorphins that help make us happy, which is the main reason why exercise is important, because it helps reduce those stress hormone levels. Exercise can help prevent injuries as long as we are doing it correctly and doing what we can. If your doctor says, do not go running, and you go out and run 10 miles and you end up hurt, that is the opposite of what should be happening. By doing the things that you can do, slowly pushing yourself, that's how you can get stronger. We can't just go out and expect to be doing our best the first day. And exercise improves overall quality of life. There's so many benefits and can help a lot. So exercise is important, and there's evidence indicated that there's many benefits that can help during your treatments. Make sure that you know your blood counts and where you're at as you go into exercise. Find out how much you're moving and slowly increase from there. And so it's recommended to do at least 2 days of strength training a week, and then you can do 2 to 3 days of cardio training per week. And I will give you some examples of those. But remember, start low weight, low resistance, and go slow. So don't expect on your first day to be hitting the high weights. Build into it, especially as you're starting a new program. It is the most important. All right, how to get started. So cardio. It's recommended to do at least 2 times per week for heart health reasons. Some low impact options are walking, swimming, stationary bike, walking on the treadmill, elliptical. So before running or riding a bike outside, make sure that you can consult with a specialist to find out what they would recommend. And remember, start with what you can. The goal is to be able to work up to 30 minutes. If you can't do 30 minutes today, that is okay. It's about building into that over time. And try different cardio options and find out what you enjoy. If you don't find the treadmill fun, but you want to go to the pool and do aqua walking or aqua jogging, that is a great alternative. That is a great option of something that you can do. All right, strength training. Strength training can be done 1 to 3 times a week. I would say, especially if you're starting out, I would aim for 1 to 2 days a week. Take a rest day in between. So that day in between can be your cardio day. So you can have resistance, cardio, or you can do resistance, cardio, a break, a rest day, then resistance, cardio. So you can split it up however works best for you. And make sure that you listen to your body first and foremost. Don't continue any exercise that causes pain and discomfort. So there's a couple different types of pain. So there's sharp, stabbing, sudden pains. And then there's that delayed onset muscle soreness. So making sure that you know if you're doing an exercise and you suddenly feel a pain, stop. Don't go any further. Don't push yourself through it. It is normal, especially when starting a new program or trying a new exercise or increasing resistance or weight, to have a little bit of muscle soreness or fatigue a couple days later. That is normal, and that's okay. It means that your muscles are growing and repairing and strengthening, so it's good. Strength training does not require weights. You do not have to go to a gym to do strength training. You can use your body weight, resistance bands. You can get creative in your house. If you have like canned peas in your cupboard or beans, something like that, that you can also use as a tool that you can hold and do some exercises with as well. And then don't forget your balance. Balance is extremely important. If you are not doing any strength training right now and you want to get started, I would suggest starting with balance exercises before adding a lot of weight, because that is going to help in the long run within so many areas. So we all start from somewhere. Don't compare where you are today with your fitness level or exercise as compared to someone who is on a different path, different treatments, different experience. We are all on a different road of what we're doing. So the best way to compare yourself is to yourself. And are you doing what you can? Are you doing what you should? And are you happy? All right. So I am going to go out of order here. We're going to talk about balance, then go back to the warm-up, and then progress through the exercises. Balance is extremely important, especially as we age. As always, start with low repetitions and slow, steady movements. You don't want to do sudden changes of direction. You can lose balance, and that is opposite of what we're trying to do. If you need to use a chair or wall or stair banister that for stability, do so. So some ways that you can work to increase your balance, here are some examples. So it's recommended you repeat each exercise 1 to 3 times. So performing these exercises, you can hold it for as long as you can. If that's 2 seconds, great. If it's 30 seconds, great. So it's about repeating that exercise and pushing yourself for a little bit more time each time. So a single leg balance, you're standing on one foot, kind of like the lady in the image. Added variations, you can put your arms overhead. You can have one arm out, one arm on your hip. You can do your arms at your side. You can brush your teeth while you balance on one foot. You can do these things in very practical and real daily tasks. It's about seeing how long you can stand on one foot, and I would recommend being barefoot, but don't try and get yourself to tip over. Just standing on one foot, switching feet, and repeating it. Then there's a tandem stance. A tandem stance is standing with your toes to your heel. Sounds funny, but you're standing toes to heel, one foot in front of the other, challenging your balance to see if you can kind of stand on a single line without tipping side to side. If you need to put your arms out by your side for balance, you can. Or if you need to hold on to a chair for balance, great. Standing abduction is another one. So that's standing with your feet shoulder width apart. So feet shoulder width apart, holding on to a stable chair or wall as needed, bringing one leg out to the side and back to center, kicking it out and coming back. So you're making that single leg balance exercise into a dynamic movement by challenging, can you stand on that one foot while moving the other leg? And then you'll switch the other side. And then there's the standing kickback. So similar to the abduction where you're moving side to side, it's kicking back, engaging your buns, keeping your core tight, and then standing, coming back to both feet and then switching sides. All right, so we are going to go back to the warm-up. And if you want to do this with me, you can. So the first one, so warm-up is great no matter where you are in your fitness journey. You can do this before a strength training day or even before a cardio day. Warming up helps get your muscles engaged and awake and gets you ready to be moving. So I'm going to do these all from a chair. So first, sitting nice and upright, feet flat on the ground, and you're going to do 10 repetitions of each. So a seated leg march, your feet are flat on the ground, and you bring one knee up and down. So it's kind of like you're just stepping up and down, up and down. You're engaging your core. You're not twisting or moving, just bringing it up and alternating feet back to the floor. All right, then you'll do the seated push-pull. So you're gonna push and pull, squeezing your shoulder blades together, pushing forward, squeezing your chest, and pull it back, squeezing back. So push and pull. That gets your posture nice and warm, core tight. All right, so now we're going to go into our arm march. So that sounds funny. I'm going to try not to hit my desk here. So arms down by your side, raise one arm up, and then switch. So just bringing them right overhead. If it's hard to bring it overhead, just bring it to chest height. You don't have to do all the way up Just do the range of motion that feels most comfortable to you. All right, now we're going to do some seated shoulder rolls. So bring your shoulders forward, up, back, and down, up, back, and down. And then go forward. So back, up, and forward, back, up, and forward. All right. Now we're going to do our seated leg stretch. So from that upright, so feet flat on the ground, reach one heel forward and slowly bring your chest forward into it, feeling that stretch back in your hamstrings, and then back up, switch feet. So bringing it forward, kind of hinging at your hips just a little bit, and then back up. You can repeat that a couple of times. And then the seated arm leg march. So this one, we're going to challenge your coordination. So you're going to bring one arm up and then opposite knee up and switch. So opposite knee, opposite arm, go up. Again, the range of motion that feels most comfortable to you. Up and down. Make sure that you are breathing through all of these exercises. All right. So now that we are warmed up, we're going to go to our seated exercises. So first thing is that the important part about strengthening your legs is that there's so many daily tasks that we do that require our legs. Sitting on the toilet, sitting in a chair, standing back up. It's great to be able to strengthen your leg muscles so that you don't have to do the heave movement, so that you can just stand up on your own. And as we engage and use those muscles, they're less likely to deteriorate as we age. So each of these exercises can be done seated with body weight only. You can use light resistance bands, or you can grab that can or something that you want to use for added challenge. So that sit to stand helps gain muscles in your legs, your quads, so the tops of your thighs, your hamstrings, which are the back. So it's really important to strengthen those. We're going to skip that one because I think you know sit to stand. Our seated lat pull down. All right. So raising your arms overhead, and as you bring your arms down, bending at the elbows and engaging your back, squeezing your shoulder blades together. So let's do that one together. So bring your arms up, pulling back, elbows down, squeezing those shoulder blades together and back up. And pull it down and back up and down and back up. All right, so we're going to do about 3 to 4 of each of these that we can do. Next, we are going to do our seated row. So it's kind of similar to that warm-up movement that we did, the push-pull. So this one, bringing your hands forward, squeezing your elbows back, squeezing them back, and then come forward, squeezing them back. A great way to do this is with a resistance band looped around like a stair banister or on your door, and pulling that resistance band handles and then resisting forward, pulling it back and resisting forward. All right, so then seated calf raise. You can do this seated or standing. This will also help with your balance. So place your feet flat on the floor. While you're sitting, you're going to push your heels up as if you'd be standing up on tiptoes and back down. So let's do that with me. Up and back down, and up, and back down. Last time, up, and back down. So that engages our calves. It helps improve the range of motion in our ankles and our ankle mobility as we improve our balance. Then we have our seated Arnold press. So this one's kind of a funky one. There's multiple movements to this. So you're going to start showing me your forearms. Bring it out and up, down, forward. So out, up, down, back to forward. If that pressing up movement is hard, so you can go this way, back, forward. That still works on that shoulder mobility. I'm tired watching myself. So either pressing up with that, or coming out, going down, up, and together. All right, and now the last one is going to be our seated leg extension. So this you can do without any resistance, or you can tie a resistance band onto a chair and use that, pressing up. So showing in my camera, you're going to kick out and then come back down. You're going to kick out and come back down. So we're going to kick our legs up. You can do this one leg at a time or both at the same time, keeping your core tight, extending your legs up and bringing them down. Kicking your legs up, holding at the top, and bring it down. Let's do it one more time together, and up, and bring it back down. All right. So these are some great exercises that you can do on your own anytime, and that can help get that blood flowing, improve your balance, improve your strength, and help you feel accomplished and help you feel like I did something, and bring those endorphins to help reduce and negate some of that stress. I'm going to open the time to you guys for some questions. I see that we have. All right, Yvonne could not see the second to last exercise. That was the seated Arnold press. So, so the seated Arnold press, I'm going to show it from a couple different angles. So you're going to have your elbows shoulder height. You're going to go out, bring it about to in line with your shoulders and pressing up. Or I'll show from side angle, out, up, bring it down. Out, up, down. Yvonne, please let me know if you did not see that. All right. So opening up the time to Q&A, we have a question from Jason. It says, my myeloma is in remission, but I have massive fatigue issues. Anyone else with myeloma experience this? It's awful. I exercise 1 to 2 times a week, cycle, run, hike. Considering a gym membership, I miss it, but COVID. I walk my dog twice a day, 15 to 20 minutes morning and night. Walks getting shorter, not longer, so fatigued. Is it myeloma, the drugs, or food allergy? So if anyone wants to provide Jason any input on what you think, my question would be, how's your sleep going? With all of that exercise, are you doing recovery days? Are you foam rolling? Doing any kind of strength? I would say add in a strength day and not do as much cardio, because sometimes that can bring more impact and cause more fatigue. it's definitely a balancing act of, is the fatigue, the myeloma, or is it because I'm not recovering, that kind of stuff. Definitely depending on the medications that you are on, fatigue can be a huge part of that. And I would say keep doing what you're doing. Add some strength training in there. If anyone else has input, I will add that in here. I'll let you know, Jason. Marie Helm says, are there in-person support groups? As of right now, there aren't. We do some occasional in-person events, but not in-person meetups every week. There are a lot of, we do have several, depending on your geographical location. There are some support groups depending on your geographical location. Marie, I would suggest you to email Audrey at healthtree.org. She can help navigate and help you find support groups, and I think she knows of some other support groups as well. Carrie says, one of myeloma's symptoms is fatigue. Revlimid also has side effects of fatigue. So having both in there definitely is kind of that double dose of fatigue. So figuring out if your nutrition is good, your sleep is good, those things are kind of balanced, then you'll know that that fatigue that you're experiencing is that side effect of both myeloma and Revlimid. Thank you, Carrie. All right. Okay, so Belinda says, newly diagnosed, what is the significance of my blood counts on exercise? So sometimes with exercise, having your blood counts off can increase that fatigue, or making sure that you're on the right path with your treatments so that adding exercise doesn't derail anything. There's still a lot of research coming with all of that, but just making sure that you're up to date on all the things that you're doing, and then that way you're not overdoing any exercises. Marie says she's on Dex and the crash from that causes great fatigue. Oncologist lowered dosage, definitely. Yeah, Dex can have some highs and lows, and that fatigue is brutal, absolutely brutal. Okay, Carrie asked if I can post the demonstrated exercises on Facebook. I absolutely can. We can do that for sure. And we can also add that, depending on when I get that recorded and added to Facebook, we could also send it out with the slides, or later with the slides as well. Just added exercise videos that you can do on your own, definitely helpful. All right, any other questions that we've got? One more. All right, so Marie says, I'm newly diagnosed and my oncologist has recommended a stem cell transplant. My anxiety is off the chart about this. I've read many posts about things that have gone wrong, and many have had to stay in the hospital much longer than normal. So I would say, Marie, are you reading all the bad, or are you reading the bad and the good? Depending on your specialist that you're working with and where you're at, there's a lot of different things that can go into that. We do have some of our myeloma coaches that have a lot of great input and a lot of great advice on this. So I can get you in contact, Marie, with Roz, who can help you get the right coach that can help navigate that and help you decide, is that the path that you should go, or reducing the anxieties, those kinds of things. So we have some great coaches that can help with that stem cell transplant anxieties for sure. So I will reach out to you, Marie, with that information. That brings up a great point. We have a lot of great resources with HealthTree. So it's awesome that you're all here, and we love having you every month in all of our community events. We have great coaches that are either caregivers themselves, that are patients themselves, that have gone through and seen a lot of this stuff, and they are there to help you and support you. And those coaches are a great resource and a great person to talk to help navigate these anxieties and reduce some of those stresses. Yvonne, I will send that. What we will do is I'll send out Roz's information and our coaching information out with the recording so that everyone can navigate that and finding the right coach, and we can work with finding the person that can help you with what you need. Because having someone that has been there, that has done that, and that can understand is so important when monitoring and going through all of these things. Yvonne and Marie, Ashley posted the link to our Myeloma Coach website. So we will also add it when we send out the slides, but it is in the chat right now. So I would say utilize the resources that we have at HealthTree. Go to healthtree.org /myeloma and find, we have great resources of our HealthTree University. If you are so overwhelmed by all the information about myeloma and everything that you can learn, go there. And there's videos that can help educate and help you kind of down that path of best education, listening to specialists and people that really know what they're talking about. We have our coaches, we have our Cure Hub that you can, share your information to be able to then help improve research and help we have our side effect solutions services so that you can see what side effects people are experiencing and what they've done to improve those side effects. And a lot of that can help with your mental health. It can help you feel like you've got a grip on some things. It's all about being able to manage what you can control and letting go of the things that you can't control. So we are here for you. We have all of these resources to help you navigate and reduce the stresses in which we can help with. Absolutely. I'm going to share my screen one more time. I just want to thank you all for coming out tonight. Our next HealthTree Moves meeting is going to be August 3rd, 7 p.m. Eastern. We are planning on doing a Pilates demonstration. You may be interested in other myeloma crowd community events that we have coming up. On Tuesday, July 12th at 7:30 p.m., we have our SoCal Myeloma Community Chapter, How to Live with Myeloma While Not Dying from Something Else. Thursday, July 14th at 1 p.m. Eastern, Stem Cell Transplant Chapter, What Diet to Follow After Stem Cell Transplant. Thursday, July 14th, also at 1 p.m. Eastern, the Northeast Myeloma Community Chapter, Navigating Myeloma in a World Moving On from COVID. The link to sign up for any of those events and even more events that I have not mentioned today is found at the bottom of this slide and will be sent out with the slides within 48 hours after this event. Once again, thank you to our sponsors, Bristol Myers Squibb, GSK, Genentech, Janssen Oncology, and AbbVie. And thank you for helping us build a strong myeloma proud community. Hope you guys all have a great night. Thank you so much for your participation, your input, and letting us know the things that we can help you with. We are here to help you manage that stress, reduce what you can, and keep going. You guys are strong. Have a great night.